lack of after-school programs for children in the Heights, having a community arts center would remain a high priority for all the residents of the Heights. How and when can you create such a community arts space here?
Okay. Kevin, do you want to talk at all to recreation activities, Heights specific?
How are you guys this evening? I won't stand here and reinvent the wheel on what we have planned for recreation, but suffice to say we have some brand new initiatives from getting our staff into the schools a bit earlier. I don't think we have anything on board for community centers, but what we do have, excuse me, I'm a bit nervous my first time out with you guys, but we have the Armory, which we are working with to initiate new programs. We have after-school programs where we're going to have kids come in after school, help you guys out with homework, help you with recreational programs. What else? Angela, what else do we have?
We have the arts class at Persian Field Community Center on Thursdays.
The mayor wants to save me because I'm feeling a little nervous, but I'm good. It just takes me a while to get warmed up. But again, like I said, suffice to say, we're putting a lot of programs in place. We're going to reinvent our website so that you guys can see what's going on. I'm going to bring my staff out here to talk to you in detail about the transportation programs. When you guys can't get to a specific area, we're planning on bringing your needs or your children out to the area to be involved in fencing and roller skating, ice skating, lacrosse, girls softball, gymnastics, a whole host of programs. I think the biggest one that we're going to tackle this year is going to be a roller rink at Pershing ice skating facility. We're going to turn that over into a roller skating so we can have year-round activity. We've been working with the Devils right now to try and get funding for it. And again, that's on the table. But more importantly, I think what I really want to say is that I'd like to come out when I'm a lot less nervous and have this discussion with you guys, with the staff that can really let you guys know all the programs that we have. But we do have a myriad of things that are going to be on the website. So again, I apologize. Thank you.
Kevin, a round of applause. All right. So first on the recreation front, schools open in the last 2 years with after-school programs partnership with the Board of Ed than it has been done in decades. It's something we're particularly proud of. There's no shortage, I think you could speak to this, there's no shortage of recreation programs. Whatever you want to do, I assure you that the city does offer it. Sometimes there's a disconnect between us publicizing it and sometimes residents seeking out that information. But whether it's scuba diving, we offer it. Whether it's obviously basketball or baseball or football, we offer it. I mean, you could really get into the weeds on different sort of programs that we do in the recreation front. There's a lot to do, and we're spending a lot of money on it as well. So if you look at what we've dedicated to recreation programs, it's more significant that's been done ever before as well. So there's no shortage on that front, specifically as it relates to an arts center. So let me just highlight that component of it. Everything is a balancing act. We do not have today the funds to build a new art facility center, so to speak, anywhere in the city. We are focused right now as a city, and one objective that I do have prior to the conclusion of a first term is that I think that we will find a new location for the museum, and hopefully it will be away from downtown and some of the locations that we're looking at right now. Closer to Journal Square. They're very close to that right now. But as it relates to a specific facility for recreation arts, it would be a hard-pressed thing to build within the budget with focusing on keeping taxes stable.
What can the city do to accelerate the use of tools like the Abandoned Property Rehabilitation Act to rehab or demolish the dangerous abandoned properties at Dr. Heights? Are there other solutions available to force delinquent property owners and lenders to rehab or sell these properties?
Okay, so Mark was responsible for this program as well, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
Right now, there are 24 abandoned properties in the city of Jersey City. These properties are designated abandoned by the public officer at Coleman, and they're working, Dave Donnelly is working from the Jersey City Redevelopment Agency using the APRA ordinance to take them into Superior Court to have those properties.
Could I take one step back so that there's a little bit of clarity on that? Is that obviously there's not 24 properties abandoned.
Well,
obviously the number's 900 or 800.
There's 938 vacant properties in Jersey
So I
City.
wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
I wanted to
True.
clarify that because one second. So that there's 20 allowed in the law is a way to facilitate taking some of those properties away from the bank and designating them to either a local developer, somebody to build affordable housing, somebody to get ownership. There's a lot of parameters around that. The city's experimenting with that for the first time. So when he says that there's 24 projects or that are designated abandoned, there are 24 projects that the redevelopment agency is focused on pushing it through the system right now as the first pilot for the 24. So that's not to say that that's the absolute number. There's obviously 900, 950, whatever that number is, but we're trying on these 24. Assuming they're successful, then we will obviously do it broader. We are trying to work with unions on this in order to help them develop them, in order to hopefully get some affordable housing out of it. Some of them are becoming veteran housing, which I touched on earlier, and some of them are becoming market rate housing. Some of the ones specific to the Heights up here, we've worked with, which you can speak to, we've worked with, I believe you've been in touch with Maury
Yes.
and Nick in order to make sure that those work.
Correct. One of them is 671 Thomas Avenue, which is being brought into municipal court, Superior Court, through the redevelopment agency. That's one of the 24 properties I first spoke of. There are 938 vacant properties in Jersey City. There's a vacant building registration ordinance, there's an abandoned properties ordinance, there's a vacant lot ordinance. All these ordinances have been created in Jersey City to help get a control of the vacant buildings. Our numbers are low comparative to other municipalities.
So let me say just some clarity around that. This started under my predecessor, the first vacant building ordinance. We've expanded it since then. It's been very effective. And basically what it does is it's a tool to penalize those landlords or owners in order for upkeeping their property. And subsequently put liens on it. And the city right now has made several $100,000 off each of those ordinances, just to clarify what Mark was touching on.
Also, Your Honor, after the storm, we've also removed snow from some of those vacant and abandoned properties and are charging the creditor and or liening the property. This is something that we've done for the first time after this snowstorm. We've done it in small amounts in years past, but as the DPW director, it's something that I'm very passionate about. Securing the vacant properties the right way, having a HUD-style ordinance so the properties are secured properly, painted, maintained. That's something that the New Jersey Credit Responsibility laws allow us to charge back to the creditor, the bank. And that's a new law in New Jersey that was passed in July 2014, and it's very effective. So we are doing great things with vacant buildings in Jersey City. We're very close to taking 11 of the 24 properties through the redevelopment agency. One of the properties is the Veterans House.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The Heights is badly in need of attention. From roads that need repaving, sunken manhole covers, streetlights that need to be replaced with brighter bulbs, malfunctioning and overflowing garbage receptacles, empty tree pits, crosswalk repainting, and parks maintenance. But specifically, is your administration going to address these elemental infrastructure issues in 2016 and 2017? Additionally, how is the performance of the city employees that do this work being monitored and evaluated?
You want to talk to that, Mark? So Mark's the Director of Public Works. Let me say that every year we do an aggressive street paving plan. It's not perfect. Most of that is driven off of council agendas, and then it's based on the assessment from traffic and engineering. So there's obviously a street paving plan that will start in the spring again. The storms obviously place wear and tear on the streets, and we're always trying to catch up ultimately to the wear and tear that's happened. This year is going to be no different. Always people think that we could do more on the street paving. That continues to be a struggle. We spend millions of dollars a year on street paving that is divided equally between every area of the city. Not one area of the city sees more, not one area of the city sees less. We're very, very diligent about that. With regards to sewer, water main breaks, infrastructure, right now the city's under a city consent order regarding working on our sewer system and our infrastructure. It's a $40 million multi-year plan. The reality of the situation is that our sewer system in Jersey City is very, very old. That's the reality of it. You have water main breaks when you have an old infrastructure and the weather changes very frequently from cold to warm, cold to warm, cold to warm. The ground contrasts, expands, contrasts, expands, and then basically bursts some of those pipes underneath. That's what's happening when you have this sort of thing, and that's the challenge ultimately we have. It is cost prohibitive to replace everything at once. As much as I would like to do that, it is cost prohibitive. Much of our system is actually fed on gravity, and that is a challenge as well. So we deal with this stuff, and as we need to, and over time, we gradually replace it and improve it, but that does take time. So that's on the infrastructure front. On the garbage can front, we touched on that already. Happy to put them anywhere that you want, as long as you have the owner of the house where it's located agreeing to it, first and foremost. I think we could agree that that is a necessary component to it. And as long as you reach out to it and are going to be responsible in not putting household trash in there, we share the responsibility on that. We are very, very happy to put them anywhere that you want them. Regarding the street pits and the lights, ultimately, PSE&G is obligated to turn back on those lights within 24 hours. Generally, they are pretty good on it. If a light bulb is burnt out on your block, it's a very simple protocol. We're pretty good about it. You go to the pole, there is a number on the side of it. You could email me. I'm very responsive on this. You could email the Resident Response Center. Just email us that number on the side of it, the street. If you want to email us, it'll be done in the next 24 to 48 hours. I can promise you that. And then finally, on the pits, if there is a vacant pit, we are doing a lot of tree planting, thankfully, with the Jersey Parks Coalition, who the president happens to be a Heights resident as well. She's here, Laura Skolar. But if there are vacant...
Regarding the tree pits and the tree plantings that we planned for this spring. Last spring, we planted over 100 trees. In the fall, we planted 50. The most trees we planted in Jersey City in many years. We worked with Kern, Roger, Laura, and we went to New York City to get a sustainability on the trees, why they don't survive. We learned a lot in December. We're changing our whole planting structure. The tree pits are too small, they're not deep enough. There's a lot of reasons why trees don't survive. We have a tree plan for this spring. My plan is to plant more than 300 trees this year. I'm working with Kern and Roger, like I said, the Parks Coalition, and we're surveying all the tree pits in city buildings. We're surveying tree pits on large buildings in Jersey City where I think the landlords would want to partner with us and have trees planted. It's something that we've never reached out before, to have the community cooperate with us and partner with us to plant trees. Something first, something new, and we're going to do it this year. Normally we just wait for people to look on the website. If they want a tree, they partner with the Parks Department. This year we're going to aggressively search for these trees so we can plant them.
Thank you. We can clap again for Mark.